right, let's get this thing started. Welcome inside Bonfire Sports. Darrin Bauming, Zach Schnitzer. We're live here at the Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge in Winnipeg, the Grey Cup City. Grey Cup 112, just days away, and we got so much to get to as we wrap up 2025 kickoff Grey Cup week. This is a party, Schnitzy. Back in the day, people used to take the train from the West Coast to the East Coast, wherever the Grey Cup City was. It was the Grand National Trunk Railroad. Well, now, because of that, they call it the Grand National Drunk, Canada's biggest annual sporting event. It's a party all week long, and we got friends, family, loved ones, all types of people here at the Heights. We're going to have some ribs. We're going to have a great time, and we might even have some special guests pop by. How are you feeling this week? I know your team isn't in the game, but are you feeling all right with the Grey Cup in your city?
I knew you'd ask me this. I was thinking about this, DB. And I'm actually, I'm surprised to say this. I'm actually a bit relieved the Bombers aren't playing this week.
The anxiety's off your shoulders.
The anxiety's off my. I haven't enjoyed a Grey Cup since 2018.
You haven't enjoyed it.
I don't know how you can be a diehard Bombers fan and enjoy watching your team in the Grey Cup. You're just dying for them to win. And man, it's not like the Bombers. Well, maybe the 2019 Grey Cup. It seemed to be pretty early against Hamilton.
Yeah.
They took it to Hamilton. But the rest of the Grey Cups, one goes into overtime. The next two, they're over on the last play. Mm-hmm. And then last year, there was a bit of a debacle. But it wasn't like you could sit back and enjoy the second half knowing your team's going to win. And so it's kind of nice to just relax, enjoy, party, be here at Silver Heights with our buddies. Shout out to our Discord friends and family members, Darrin. I met your mom. I met Uncle Glenn. This is amazing.
Yeah. And just pulled up Jackie in the live chat, tuning in from Toronto, born and
nice.
in Winnipeg, watching live here on Bonfire Sports. We've got tons of stuff, content coming to the Bonfire Sports channels, of course, at Bonfire WPG, BonfireSports.ca. You can find links to all of that. Waiters, of course, is here.
Waiters.
Heights, tuning in from about 30 feet away. If you want, come on through tonight. We're going to be having fun here at the Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge all night long. The Jets play at 9 o'clock. We're live right now. We got, all of your favorite Bonfire starters. Media friends will pop. I don't want to say any names yet because it's Grey Cup week. Things can get busy, but
don't make me nervous.
My girlfriend's here. My parents are here. Uncle Glenn, the live chat phenom himself, is here.
I can't believe he's here.
Yeah. And it's
goosebumps.
The Silver Heights Restaurant. Not only is it Winnipeg's original sports bar, 1957, 3 generations. They've been a sports bar forever. We're gonna watch the Jets game on their monster projection screen here. Big TVs all over the place. But the food specials.
Oh yeah.
There's drink specials every Jets game day, home and away. Here at the Heights, they got Bombers buses going to Princess Auto Stadium, but it's Tuesdays. So for Tuesdays, they do 2 can dine for $27.99. We got some ribs coming.
Yeah, baby.
People should stay tuned for that. But you should come through 2169 Portage Avenue. You can find it on my Twitter in the pinned comment. 2169 Portage Avenue, Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge. We're here all night, kicking off Grey Cup week.
Buddy.
We got lots to get to on the show. We're going to talk about, I think, maybe the most dominant storyline, maybe not with the Grey Cup, but Grey Cup week for Blue Bombers fans, and that's the future of Mike O'Shea. His contract expires New Year's Eve. Is he going to go to Toronto? There's been reports that he has already been granted permission by Winnipeg to speak to the Argos. If you haven't heard that news, Ryan Dinwiddie, their head coach, is now the head coach and GM of the Ottawa Red Blacks. There's been reports about a bit of a fiasco of the environment and culture inside the Argos organization. I've got some strong feelings about Mike O'Shea, why Toronto might be a fit. Other people feel, he's not going anywhere, that the legacy will continue here in Winnipeg. This is the first time in over half a decade the Blue Bombers haven't been in the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Davis Alexander, the Montreal Alouettes starting quarterback.
The hamstring.
The hammy.
We got to talk about the hammy.
We've got to talk about the hammy. I've had a chance to be in those media conferences with Davis Alexander at the airport last night.
Well, you had a video of him walking, right?
Yep.
Check it out, folks.
Yep.
DB has a video of him, dare I say, limping a little bit.
It looks okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they said he played through it. But we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about Trevor Harris, 39 years old.
Yeah.
He's 5 months younger than his head coach, Corey Mace.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's
Corey
amazing.
Mace is going to be 40 next month, and then Trevor Harris is going to be 40 in like May.
Okay.
Which is nuts.
That's
But
crazy.
We'll talk about the Riders, the motivation they've had all season of playing in this game and their heated rivals building. They will not be in the Blue Bombers locker room. They'll have the Manitoba Bison's locker room. Montreal Alouettes will have the Bombers lockers. All of these predominant storylines that lead into the 112th Canadian Championship here at Princess Auto Stadium.
Oh, we also got to review some of the things that happened in that wild weekend.
Yes.
The division finals, buddy. That was insane.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Donnie Boy asking, where is Walby?
Yeah, where is Walby?
I'll tell you guys a secret because you're watching Bonfire Sports. I think Chris Walby is going to make an appearance like on national television at the CFL Awards.
Oh, really?
He is being pulled in 9 different directions, obviously as a Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor, distinguished
I'm being
alumni.
pulled in a bunch of different directions too, buddy. My dog needs to be walked. My kids need to be fed. Let me just quickly.
But you're a younger man than Chris Walby.
I am. I
think one thing's for sure about Grey Cup week: pace yourself. Take it one day at a time.
I didn't do that at Labor Day, so I learned my lesson. Yeah, that was bad.
But great to see everybody in the live chat. Scott Westman.
Westman
hammering pitchers at the Heights. Probably will be if he isn't already.
Westman is rocking the Heritage Classic Jets jersey.
Who's that?
Westman. He's back there right now. He's on the chat. Why do they not use that full time? That Heritage Classic jersey. I know we're getting into Jets for a second, but they are playing tonight. Mm-hmm. That logo is off the charts.
It is.
I'm just saying.
Agreed.
Okay.
And the Bombers should never wear that third crest, that big W in the middle. Never again.
No.
Blue pants?
Blue pants are terrible.
Show on it.
I don't like the third jersey personally. I think it looks like a giant blueberry, but I love the people that designed it. So, it's all good.
There's a person in the Heights right now wearing a Matt Dunnigan Birmingham Barracudas jersey.
No, where is this person? We have to feature them.
We do have to feature them. I want to see that. Head on down to the Heights, 2169 Portage Avenue. Big thanks to Tony, JC, the entire crew here. Awesome people at the Heights. Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Jets games home and away, and we're gonna get some ribs.
Are they doing a Grey Cup bus?
They're doing a Grey Cup party.
Okay.
I don't know if they're doing a bus, but
we got to find out.
Game day, yeah. Like you can call the Heights, they'll let you know. SilverHeightsRestaurant.ca.
We'll find out and let you know, folks.
Absolutely. Okay. Where do you want to start?
Let's talk about the East and West final. Let's start with the East final, man.
Both were awesome games.
Yes.
I was blown away. I tweeted, are you not entertained?
Yeah.
They both came down to the wire. The East final finished in a walk-off field goal for Maltos Diaz and the Alouettes. And then the West final, it looked like it could be either team right to the finish. I was heartbroken for a good friend, Buck Pierce.
Yeah, fair.
I have some other, Nick Kowalski and others with the BC Lions. But ballsy call by Corey Mace.
Was it ballsy?
Well, it's always hindsight's 2020, right? Like if they didn't win that game, if the Riders didn't win the West final, it would have been like idiot play call, idiot decision to kick the field goal late. I know you were like texting me during the game feverishly. Paint that picture the way you remember it.
Well, listen, just because the result was good, the result was magical. I mean, the ending of that game, folks, will live on in Saskatchewan lore for another 100 years. I mean, this is a team. They have 4 Grey Cups, and I'm not saying that to be sarcastic or put it to my friends in Regina, Darrin, but they have 4 Grey Cups. They only win the Grey Cup every 30 years, and they don't get to many. Okay, this was legendary in Regina. As he's here.
Nice. Ginsburg of the Illegal Curve Hockey Show.
So this was legendary. And because it worked out, Corey Mace is getting all the flowers. But in my opinion, and I think in many people's opinion, it wasn't the right decision. It wasn't the right decision to kick the field goal from 3rd and 5 or 3rd and goal on the 5-yard line. And you could argue it wasn't a great decision on 3rd and 10. I know they were in their own end, but there was, 1:48 left in the game to punt the football to Nathan Rourke.
Yeah.
And that offense, the best offense in the CFL, the CFL's MOP, Nathan Rourke.
He will win it on Thursday.
He will. And there's no question he will win it. Yeah, Bo's not winning it. So you give that BC offense another couple of chances. Now credit AJ Allen for that epic tackle on the draw play. Credit the Riders defense for getting them the ball back. But man, those, it's like if you drive home drunk, Darren, you get home okay, you wake up in the morning, you're like, hey, I'm safe, I made it home. Doesn't mean it was a good decision. Those were not the great decisions. Now,
He really did put the game in his defense's hands, and they did the job.
they did.
It was impressive.
I think you know what helped them do the job? Buck Pierce in a big playoff game helped them do the job. Because we
What are you alluding to?
I could say, as a tried and true Bombers fan who's watched closely every playoff game, every Grey Cup game, you could argue that Buck Pierce gets a little bit conservative in the big moments, Darren.
Or he gets a little loose with the creativity, right? We saw that in the 2022 Grey Cup in Regina.
Right. Yes, the Dakota Prukop 60-yard interception, which will scar my heart forever.
The big games seem to be like almost an Achilles heel of Buck Pierce. All due respect, like I think Buck.
Oh, we love Buck. We love Buck.
Coach, an outstanding strategist, game planner, and play caller. But history has shown that maybe not the best decisions made in those key moments.
Absolutely, and I think that helped Mace. But 9 times out of 10. I think JC Abbott, our friend at 3 Down, wrote this. 9 times out of 10, that's the wrong decision. Now, did he know something about BC's scheme and what they would try to do? Did he just get a feeling from his defense? Like sometimes it's a gut feeling because you as the head coach, you know your team better than anybody, right? And so it worked. Therefore, it was the right decision is an opinion I've heard from many a Riders fan, but I look forward to chopping this up more with our friends from Regina and Saskatchewan who made the trip this week, Darren. But yeah, it was interesting and it worked out, and it will go down because of the positive results. It'll go down as one of the gutsiest decisions in probably CFL playoff history.
Yeah.
But man, like, here's the thing: as a Bombers fan watching those 2 division finals, they were so razor thin in terms of the margin, Darren, that it made me think like BC played well enough to win that game, and you could argue BC lost that game more than the Riders won it. Ticats and Alouettes, I mean, that was neck and neck. You look at the stats; they're nearly identical, right? I mean, that game. Oh, you want to do the ribs now?
Am I distracted?
Yeah, just
look at this.
Yeah, I can't talk. Wow.
I'm not kidding.
Mouth watering.
It says it on the huge signage out front, 2169 Portage Avenue, the SilverHeightsRestaurant Restaurant. Best ribs in town. We got the OG originals. We got the Memphis style. We're probably going to be mumbling a little bit over the next 5-10 minutes as well, probably 3 minutes as we inhale these. But you got to have the ribs when you come to the Silver Heights.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might use this as napkins.
Okay, sure. I don't need notes. Come on. But those margins were razor thin there. And what I think it should make Bombers fans appreciate is how freaking hard it is to get to the Grey Cup.
It is.
And we got to 5 in a row. That's insane. And then, like, this really emphasized that to me because, to be honest with you, I was getting fat and happy there. Like, I expect to get to the Grey Cup. I expect to win the Grey Cup every single year. It's not that easy.
No,
it really isn't that easy. And so, on the one hand, it makes me grateful that we made it. Yes, you're going to look at the elbow ball.
On the screen now. Hope it's coming through clear. This is the Tommy Neal touchdown. That was the game-winning touchdown. By the way, it was first down. So if it wasn't a catch, they would have. It's not like it was like game over, but every scoring play is reviewed. The CFL reviewed it. What you're seeing there circled, and this has like been all over like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, like everywhere. The Tommy Neal catch and that circle, the red circle that you see on your screen, showing like looks like a football. That's down on the ground. That's Tommy Neal's left elbow.
I was fooled, man.
I was fooled too for a minute.
I have never seen an elbow look so much like a football in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the end of a football. So I don't begrudge Amar Doman, the owner of the BC Lions, for going out on Twitter and doing a tirade saying that wasn't a catch. I don't begrudge Ryan Rigmaiden, the GM of the BC Lions. How can you eat how am I supposed to focus when these? It's like my dog and we're eating steak and the dog's just like,
No, have some. Here.
no, I can't. I can't. I will.
You got to do it.
I don't begrudge those guys for going out on social media and trashing the CFL. And actually, I remember there was a camera angle where it looked like the ball did hit the ground. So I wasn't sure what it was because plus my blue and gold goggles made me look for any evidence that the Riders weren't going to come to Princess Auto Stadium. Yeah. We'll talk about that later because you could argue for Bombers fans, this is the absolute worst matchup in the history of the world.
Yeah.
You've got the Riders, who we absolutely despise, and then you've got the Montreal. Oh, look at this. And in walks in the Riders media. In walks in Jamie Nye, Britton Gray.
Locker.
Jamie
Nye's partner.
Oh, there. So you have the Green Goons walk. Oh, Joe Pascucci's here. There really are a bevy of. I should just show myself out. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You're a legend, man. Yeah.
We'll have you on in a minute. Oh, absolutely.
I'm gonna shorten what I'm saying because there's many more.
Here.
What?
Have some ribs.
Okay.
I know. It was like one of the most controversial finishers to a West final.
All I'm saying is you have the Riders here, and then you have the Alouette. We'll talk more about this matchup in a minute, but it was insane. Great football. And I think the person who didn't like how great those games were was Stuart Johnston. Because you saw all these people come out and say,
for this to be an entertaining game.
Changes. These were some of the best division finals we've seen in 20 years, Darren. However, you know why it was hard to see that Tommy Neal catch? Because the goalposts were in the way.
Were they, though?
Yeah, they were.
Come on. I don't mind the goalpost moving myself. But
Okay.
Joe Pascucci here. Oh, Scooch in. Scooch. Joe Pascucci, for those uninitiated, Joe Pascucci, legendary broadcaster here. Sportsline. That just means I'm old. That means I'm old. But you're back in Winnipeg. You do a lot of work in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I do some work for the Hockey Hall of Fame Center.
Do you want mine?
Just sort of help with their archiving and exercising video collection. Well, you got a crazy archive. You're the only guy that has like Nate Stiegel's lone NFL touchdown catch.
What?
I did for the longest time, but I have seen it on YouTube.
I wonder if they pulled it from you.
No, they didn't pull from me because they actually had the game telecast.
Oh, okay.
So I just saw that recently.
Okay. Well, and you have really good clips of the Matt Dunnigan 7-14 game.
7-13.
7-13. On 7-14. It was on July 14th.
You know, I took myself in the butt over that one because I was there that night, but I was going on vacation the next day. Had I not been going on vacation the next day, that complete game with Bob Irving's audio would be preserved.
Oh.
That was the what did they call it? The Canadian Football Network.
No, that was just no cameras. There was no.
Oh, right, no cameras.
No televised. That game wasn't televised
Because it's blacked out in those days?
The Canadian Football Network had ended after the 1990 season.
Okay.
So
a lot of people don't know that Bob Irving called games on TV for the Canadian Football Network. Like it wasn't CBC, it wasn't TSN or something.
And it timed out really good for Bob because at that point, CJOB lost the Blue Bomber radio rights to.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So at that point, he wasn't calling Bomber games, but the CFN network came on just at the right time for Bob.
Put it on TV.
And then I think CGOB got the radio rights back in maybe 91 or 92.
Yeah.
So
well, it's like if Bob can't call names on radio, let's create a television network for him. That's awesome. Joe, it's like awesome for you to come. There's lots of media expecting to come that haven't already. If this game is in Vancouver, you're there. If this game's in Ottawa, you're there. You were, made Winnipeg your home for so many years, and now, like you're Florida, Toronto, you're kind of, enjoying your best life now. Why is it important for you to still come to you?
Well, it's important for me to come to this Grey Cup in particular, just not just because it's in Winnipeg, but because of who's being inducted into the Football Reporters of Canada, Canadian Football Hall of Fame, and Paul Friesen and Judy Owen. 10 years ago, I was inducted into the Hall of Fame there, and part of my acceptance speech was the fact that I said at the time, isn't it about time that we induct some women?
Mm.
Judy's now the second since with Vicky Hall of the Calgary Hill.
And I mentioned Vicky Hall, Judy Owens, and Sherry Ford, who people may or may not remember, Wayne Ford's wife. I don't know if they're still married, but I assume they are. But she reported on the Canadian football for TSN for many years.
Yes.
For many years.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the three that I mentioned. So I've got 2 of the 3 so far, and I'm crossing my fingers that Sherry is there, and I got the trifecta.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, and for people that like Paul Friesen, Judy Owen, 2 outstanding people, 2 outstanding journalists that do it the right way. For people that want to see that Football Reporters of Canada media wing induction into the Canadian Football Hall of Fame, we are going to stream it live here on Bonfire Sports as we have the last couple of years. So BonfireSports.ca, you'll find links to that. What do you think of this matchup? Corey Mays, head coach of the Riders, said they used it as motivation all year. That hey, we're going to play in Winnipeg's building. Let's use that as motivation all year. And then you have the Alouettes who, were okay without their starting quarterback, and then it's like hamstring injury, and of course Davis Alexander injures his hamstring. How do you see this game shaping up?
I think it should be a really exciting between the two teams. I wish the Blue Bombers were had they played some defense and a little bit better offense in the first half, they would be probably in this game.
Fair to say Montreal's just probably a better team.
Bombers,
they had what it takes.
the Bombers could have won that game, but obviously you're closer to this than I am now because I'm living in the Greater Toronto area. But obviously the turmoil that was going on with this club all season long caught up to. I mean, defensively, I thought, the last few weeks, the defense had stepped up and were playing at their best.
They were allowing 17 points a game.
They were really good, and then I don't know what happened.
Maybe Montreal, Davis, maybe they're good. Maybe they're a really good offense.
Yeah.
I think so. I'll tell this. I tell this to Schnitzy sometimes after the show. I'll be like, fans will say the Bombers' defense was poor. The Bombers' offense was poor. They don't think maybe too much about the opponent's team. Their defense playing well. That's why Winnipeg's offense couldn't put up.
But the Bombers have played well against Montreal, especially the game in Montreal.
But they haven't Davis Alexander. This guy's on. This dude is a stud. He is like this guy. Him and Nathan Rourke, they're the future of this league.
Can I jump in on this, please?
Jump in.
By the way, my dad, who departed in 2017, Joe, if he knew I was sitting 2 people away from you right now and talking, it was being aired, he'd be like, "What is Darrin thinking? What is my son's on it?" Anyway, this is
Joe Pascucci.
No, I'm agreeing with Joe Pascucci. I think the Bombers had a path to victory in that game. They had the lead. Now the defense was just exposed. And all season, our defense had bailed us out. Our offense was so inconsistent. I'm sure you guys will agree. And on the game where the defense wasn't having its best day, whether it was because Davis Alexander and that offense was just on fire, or whether they're a better team or not, another phase needed to step up. Did step up was the offense. Like, Kolaris arguably had one of his best games of the season. He threw for over 300 yards. He threw for a touchdown. He wasn't turning the ball over. And there was a pivotal point in that game where Bombers were down 39-33 on the road, 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. They were on 3rd and 4. Their defense hadn't stopped Montreal all game. Montreal had 1 2-and-out that entire game up to that point, and they had 1 punt. And Mike O'Shea decides to trust his defense and punt the ball away, and we never got it back. I don't know what you gentlemen think of that decision, but I think in a game where the phases weren't working so well, offense, defense, special teams, they needed superior coaching to take them over the top. There was enough time for them to play Brady bully ball, do what they do best, touchdown to escape with a win.
See, after the kind words, I don't want to disagree with you. But didn't Corey Mace just make the same decision?
Yeah. Talked about that show, and you know what? I could argue
The same decision. I mean, I think the defensive philosophy all season long, and actually it's been going on for years, of never blitzing.
right.
Just like, let's not rush the quarterback. Let's give him lots of time to pick out different people, his receivers. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
They did actually pressure the quarterback more in that game than I think I'd seen them all season long.
Well, and when they actually pressured Alexander, that's when he threw the pick to Cam Allen. So you're right. I think Bomber fans agree that there needs to be more pressure.
I mean, was the turning point not the Oliveira fumble?
For sure.
Yeah, that was our bonfire burning point.
Yeah. And the Willie Jefferson inadvertent face mask.
Face.
I know.
It says hand on
I know. But
it.
I agree.
But if you brush the helmet of a quarterback, that's a penalty.
If they played
I hate that.
time, he didn't really even have pressure on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That reminded me, of course, for a long time Bomber fans. Your audience is probably too young to remember this. The roughing the passer penalty that John
Helton, yeah, on the Elks
against
or Edmonton, yeah,
1982 Western Final.
yeah,
When the Bombers had made an interception on that play.
yeah.
And they would have won that game, but the penalty overturned that.
That's infamous.
Less important.
Yeah.
Well, and you got so many of them, Joe. I mean, just an incredible person to know and talk with. What's your Twitter handle? Because I know you send out some awesome like WHA Jets or like old Jets stuff, new Jets stuff.
Well, the X is at Pascucci 015.
Okay. I'll put that in the video description later.
Yeah, and if you get on there, I wrote an article for Three Down Nation this week about.
Oh yeah.
We'll find it. People can find it there too.
Three Down Nation, and it's about 1954 Grey Cup, which was only going to be televised in Manitoba on a tape delay basis. It wasn't going to be televised live. So a couple of Winnipeggers asked one of the businessmen in Fargo if the TV station in Fargo would show the Grey Cup game.
Wow.
You have to, so I have to make this short because it is a long story. 1954, NBC lost the TV rights to college football. So counter-programming college football, they picked up Canadian football. They televised the Big Four, which is what they were called, the Eastern teams, and they televised the Grey Cup. So WDAY, with the encouragement of the mayor and businesses, decided to carry the Grey Cup game. They were the only TV station in Fargo, so they could carry any network program they wanted. They chose the Grey Cup game over the Army-Navy game. And it was a U.S. given day weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So about 2,500 Manitobans, Winnipeggers, they saw one report that said there were people from Alberta and Saskatchewan that came down too. Went down to Fargo to watch the game at different various locations. No charge. Dances afterwards.
Yeah.
And the only thing that limited the crowd being there was a snowstorm the day before.
Oh really?
Yeah. There was even a train from Winnipeg to Fargo.
Yeah.
For this Grey Cup weekend, and you could actually stay in the train overnight, and it would bring you back the next.
That's amazing. That's a great. That's
on
three down. Yeah.
I'm gonna retweet it right now.
The Grey Cup came to Fargo.
I got a question for you,
Okay.
Joe. As someone, but I'm like your perspective, right? Like, as someone who's covered the Bombers and the Jets and sports for decades.
Yep.
You remember the dominant Bombers teams of the 80s, right?
They blitzed.
Where, like, and I think I'm a little bit entitled because I look at the dominant run the Bombers just had, and we could argue that maybe it's over, or maybe it just needs a bit of a retool. Maybe it's over.
It's time to retool and to rebuild back up again.
Okay.
I don't think it'll take a long time.
Right.
But it's over.
Can we cut to the chase? I want to know your thoughts. Like, will Mike O'Shea?
Oh yeah.
No.
How come?
I think he's accomplished more than enough here in Winnipeg. What does he need to prove here in Winnipeg? He's beaten Bud Grant's wins record.
Yeah.
Playoff and regular season.
Right.
But what he's built here, like, wouldn't you want to sustain that? Wouldn't you want to try to continue that?
Maybe he's not interested in rebuild.
So a lot of people say, okay, like Michael Shea wants to go home, right? Like North Bay, Ontario, but like he's a legendary Argo. He won Grey Cups as a coach and a player with the Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah.
To me, him going to Toronto, the appeal is twofold beyond that. To me, like I remember that first year Michael Shea was here in Winnipeg. The question was about like, you know, you don't like the media and you don't want to have to deal with the media on the daily. In Toronto, no word of a lie, there is no daily media.
Oh, he'd love that.
He would love that.
He would love that.
Yeah.
I was here when Michael Shea first started his head coach, and yes, he didn't like the media.
Like they're not going to be asking about injuries, like, oh, did he practice today? Oh, like, you know,
And what really used to upset me, and it's funny, was on the last few weeks he kind of changed.
Yeah.
But before that,
He's evolved through the years. Yeah.
it took him a long time.
It did.
But that really, I'm trying to be careful with my words here.
Which you have to do with Michael's
answer. So what did the other team do differently in the second half? The answer of Michael Shea, I don't know. I'll have to look at the film. Oh my God. You know, oh my God. You know what? It's a wonder. You know what's amazing? It's not amazing that the Blue Bombers lost 3 Grey Cups with that answer. It's amazing they won 2 Grey Cups. How do you not know that football's a game of adjustments? Like, why would he say something so idiotic?
Do you think he knew and just didn't want to say, though?
What's wrong with that? Being honest, yeah, they did.
I don't know.
We didn't adapt quickly.
He just doesn't like divulging information. He just does not like doing it. And he wouldn't have to do that in Toronto. Number 2,
that's definitely.
So, and number 2, the other reason I think beyond being, you know, it being a homecoming for Michael Shea to the Argos is there's, you know, like 3 Down Nation, other places reporting the reason Ryan Dinwiddie left, and that there's a lot of dysfunction and miscommunication and you know, misidentified roles and how it all works. If there is one man who can rebuild the culture of that organization from football to non-football and everything in between in an organization, it's Michael Shea. Michael Shea is not the general manager here in Winnipeg. That's Kyle Walters. He's not the president and CEO. That's Wade Miller. But Michael Shea is the boss. He runs things inside Princess Auto Stadium, inside that football operations facility. If I'm a team in complete disarray, like the
Place to see it.
I want Michael Shea. I don't want anybody else. Zeno, love you, brother.
But why? Aside from the media, the mitigated media there, why would he want to leave? He's such a loyal guy, and I'm not saying he's not going to leave. I think he might, but he's such a loyal person. That seems to be part of his DNA.
Why did he let his contract run out?
That's a good question.
Why?
Is he using Toronto for leverage?
Why has he not said, no, I don't want to take that meeting?
Right. My first.
He's willing to listen. He's willing to go.
Yeah, and my sense of it was he was maybe going to use Toronto's offer, which I think will be substantial monetarily, as leverage. But then again, I think about Mike O'Shea. You guys chime in. Does he seem like a guy who's like a fierce, like tough negotiator who's going to use leverage against his employer? I don't know. That doesn't sound like Mike O'Shea.
I think you just let that leverage happen, right? They know, like, you don't have to go in there and go, look, I'll leave if. You go in there and say, okay, all right, you know, let's come to an agreement.
But in the past,
and they know that the Argos need Mike O'Shea. They need him. Now, if Winnipeg, like, here's the other part of the question. If Winnipeg loses Mike O'Shea as their head coach, if what the flip happens then? Like, who's the head coach? What do they do? Jordan Younger is a young coach.
He'll take Jordan Younger. Jordan Younger's not staying here at Poster's not.
Here's Jackson. He's been a head coach before.
I have no idea.
It ain't Jason Hogan. It ain't Mike Miller.
But O'Shea never took these meetings before. Like, like just jump on what you were saying, Joe. Like he didn't take the.
Been the Argos job.
Yes, that's true.
And I tweeted at that time, like, I wondered if the day would ever come where both the Argos post would be open and Mike O'Shea's contract would be up. Somebody mentioned that was the case in 2019. Well, the Bombers just won the Grey Cup for the first time in 29 years in 2019. I don't think there was like, oh, Mike O'Shea's leaving. He's going to build on this. And what did they do? They ran it back and then won it again.
Why do you think he only takes?
Want to have full control over everything? I mean, judging what he
That's what he wanted
in his last
he needed it here.
in his last press conference, he talked about all the difficulty during the season for the offense and wishing that he had gotten more involved. Head coach for what's sake.
That's him just falling.
Why didn't you get involved?
That's him falling on his sword.
No, I agree with Joe.
Fall on.
I agree with Joe.
It lands on me.
No, I
Have you ever seen him criticize a player or a coach?
He doesn't.
He literally said, I quote, I will never criticize the play calling. That was a quote from last year.
I hope I'm not pivoting too much here, but he made a huge mistake this year. And I want to hear what Joe has to, not you. I want to hear what Joe has to think. You have sort of the last dance feel of the Bombers, aging stars, and they've hung on by the skin of their teeth. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic.
Fair for sure.
To play in a home Grey Cup, where if they win it, they can walk off into the sunset. There's redemption for all the 3 Grey Cups they lost when they were favorites and should have won. We can get into that later. And Mike O'Shea, he basically has an old Ferrari in the garage. And it's lost a bit of its gleam. It can't hit like 0-60 so fast anymore. And his 16-year-old son comes in and says, Dad, can I borrow the keys to the Ferrari? I just passed my driving test. It's let me drive. And Mike O'Shea's like, sure, Jason Hogan. I'm going to give a rookie OC who wasn't even an OC in the collegiate ranks.
What an analogy.
The keys to this Ferrari and just let him drive it? Are you out of your mind? If that was my dad, it would be like, well, my dad was too cheap to buy Ferraris. But you can maintain the Ferrari. You can shine it up. Oh, my God, look at this. Murderer's Row.
Who's who? I don't know if you picked that up.
Dunk, JC, Hammer just walked in.
Justin Dunk, JC Abbott, Jeff Hamilton.
Okay, my point is like, if that was my dad, he'd be like, you can learn how to change the oil. You could shine up the chrome wheels. You could come with me to schedule maintenance, whatever. You're not driving that car. Give it a couple of years. You got to earn that. He gives it to Hogan, and this is your offensive coordinator.
Yep.
What are we doing? And I just think, I don't get that.
Go back to when Mike O'Shea first took over, right? When did the fortunes of the football club turn around?
Lapo.
Lapalese and Darryl Hall. That's defensive coordinator.
Richie Hall, yes.
Richie Hall.
Yeah.
Sorry. Richie Hall. See, I am getting old.
It's on the air?
Yes.
We're on the air.
How you doing, Mr. Dunn?
What's up, man?
Nice to meet you. I'm a big fan of yours.
Justin.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, we'll get you. We'll get you.
Oh, yeah. Justin Dunk wants to make an appearance.
Yes, he wants to. He doesn't get enough television time. It is jam.
But you're right, Joe. It was that Lapalese hire. It was the Richie Hall hire. They Gary Croton.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, don't even talk about Gary Croton.
And he stood by those guys. Yes, at least to the meeting. That's what I mean. Is he never puts his guys under the.
If you don't have the assistant coaches and you're not willing to get involved, as he said he wasn't willing to this year, that's what you're going to get.
I think he had his hands full with Mike Miller being the pseudo special teams partner. Mike Miller went from being a player to the coordinator.
Wasn't he the coordinator
last year, though?
But do you notice they're side by side it's like the entire game? They're like he's in his pocket.
But this is
he's mentoring.
But this is the problem. Like, and I don't know if we want to get into this now because we had it on our show planned later. But when Joe Pascucci walks in, you change lanes quickly. Okay, Mike O'Shea is not infallible. I'm curious to hear. You know your history. You know your history. You know about Bud Grant. You know about Dave Ritchie. You know about Cal Murphy. No, I know, but you know more about him than I do.
Jeff Reinbold, Mike Kelly,
Mike O'Shea,
Doug Barry.
Yeah,
I'm on record as saying I thought Mike Kelly makes a good hire. I'll take that. I'll take
What-
the fall for that one.
What are, like, your broad, decades-long perspective, what are your thoughts on O'Shea? Like his faults, but also, his good parts.
Totally honest here, right? This is
Totally.
so I was a fan at first. I was not a fan on his rules about for like I'm a TV reporter, right? I need video of players if I'm going to tell their story. I don't want video of guys stretching. And that's all he would allow us to shoot. Yeah. All these crazy rules about, oh, you can't shoot this, you can't shoot that. You know, it was going back to the days of Mike Butler. So I will
Close
not
practices and filming windows, well, only when they're stretching.
It's open, you know, and saying that it's an off day, there's no practice. You know, I was at the stadium one time when we supposedly no practice. There was no practice day. They don't practice anymore.
Yeah.
So
They find those loopholes.
So
You were a fan, then you were a fan.
I wasn't a fan, you know,
Yep.
of that. I wasn't a fan of the. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to take a look at the film. Of course, 3 days later, when you get another chance to hear it, what's the point of asking that?
And we had the fights to speak to coordinators.
Yeah.
And then now we get them one day a week.
Oh, that's good. So I have seen a change, but you still, like, from a TV perspective, if I want to do a story at an offensive lineman, I don't want him stretching, right? And then I remember one incident where the Bombers came, they had a certain time window for you to shoot. They came out late and said, no, you can't shoot it.
Oh,
Even stretching because it was past the time limit, but they weren't even on the field.
yeah.
Kind of things like, you know, like as a TV guy.
Yeah.
Gets my back up. Yeah. But you know, he did do a good job once he got the right coordinators in there, you know, and so he has accomplished a lot. You know, you don't take that. You know, the funny thing is Zach Collaros. The only reason Zach Collaros is a Blue Bomber is because Mike O'Shea was stubborn and kept playing Strebler in that game against Calgary when Strebler was obviously hurt and injured, and he kept putting him out there, and he got worse and worse. They had to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes.
the only. If he had taken Strebler out, we know Zach Collaros.
100%.
Yeah.
He's stubborn.
Yes. And I think
To a
that's
fault and to success.
so I think he's stubborn, kind of like the spine of the team. Like, it doesn't bend. And that's great for some things. Culture building. He invented 5-0. He won't take credit for it, but fit in or F off, right?
And he also would say, I have nothing to do with it. That's the players.
But
No, Mike O'Shea created that.
Mike O'Shea created that. He wanted mini Mike O'Sheas, I think. Guys who love to grind. They love to watch film. They love to come in early. They love their teammates. They don't care about their own laurels or awards, right? They don't take credit. All of those things that I think really work. That's great. That's part of the culture, and I think that's part of the success. And he's attracted guys who have that DNA. Guys like Biggie. Biggie, I think, came to Winnipeg in 2018 because he was a fan of Mike O'Shea, and guys will run through a wall with it for him. And he sees the good. He sees the best in people, even when they don't see it themselves. And he's aspirational. He always says, "I want those guys to show how great they are. I want to give them a chance to be great." Mike Miller's an example. This is a guy who was never a coach. He now is a special teams coach, and they're the best special teams in the CFL. But I think there's been times where wanting the guy to give the guys a chance to be great has burned him badly.
Montreal Bomber Grey Cup.
Exactly. 2023 Grey Cup. Adam Big Hill, okay, and Dalton Schoen basically couldn't walk.
Hurt.
He wanted to give them a chance to be great. That's like saying Zach Schnitzer should be our quarterback because he loves grinding and he loves film. Give him a chance to be great. He's the modern fan Rudy. Like, what are we doing? 2024. He wanted to give Zach Collaros a chance to be great. When he could see the bone on his finger, he had to throw with a glove. He'd never thrown with a glove in his entire life. And Ryan Dinwiddie saw him warming up on the sideline and said, "We've just won the Grey Cup." And Collaros, His first look, okay, fine. This is my rant, and then I'll stop talking. You put Collaros on there, he can't really throw the ball. Okay, you've got the MOP and Brady Oliveira. Okay, I don't care if the Argos were stacking the box. Maybe run the ball or throw something short just to test it out. But no, I'm going to throw a 45-yard bomb to Ontario Wilson first play because Toronto will never expect that. Give Zach Collaros a chance to be great. You can't throw when you can't feel your finger. So it's burned him.
General manager, too.
Sure.
Not having the proper people in that.
Yeah. Yes.
Kyle has to wear some of it.
Yeah, then Terry Wilson. Yeah.
That was another infuriating thing about Michael Shea was a guy would like I would know that a guy would like have season-ending surgery, and Michael Shea. I'm hopeful. He'll play this week. Really?
Yeah,
This guy blew his ACL. He's like he's in a he's on a scooter with his knee bent. Like he's done for the year. Well, hopeful. Always give a guy a chance.
forgot about
It's
those.
like just be honest with us. Like Ryan Dinwiddie.
Be honest with the fans.
Yes, we are the conduit to the fans. As
Be honest
that's our
with the
job.
fans.
Yes.
By the way, Mike, we do like you.
We do.
Oh,
No,
You've
I don't know if he likes me very much.
We've been hammering on Mike
I love Mike O'Shea as a guy.
Bombers, along with Kyle Walters and Wade Miller.
Well, and people that watch this channel, for people that watch this
We
channel,
question some of the things you're doing.
Yeah.
and that's us doing our job. People that watch this channel, they know how I speak of Michael Shea, how highly I've spoken of them at all times for years. But yeah, and then it can be infuriating with us trying to do our job and those sorts of things happening. We'll digress on that. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see what happens over the next month. Michael Shea's contract expires December 31st.
Next month, the week after Grey Cup.
Yes, I think it's December 31st.
Yeah, December 31st, December.
I see.
I think there's that week-long moratorium on
That's a real bit.
Tyson.
The Grey Cup, Tom will be staying.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. There you go.
Okay, let this guy go enjoy some ribs.
Enjoy. Sort of for Dave Naylor, Matthew Cheney, shooter. Just walked in. I think Farhan might pop by. I wonder if our video is frozen.
Yeah, I don't know.
But well, people are saying
Too
that
much star
you're
power.
grabbing your man boobs, so maybe they
I
can't.
do have those.
That might be someone here. But Joe, thanks for this.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Nice to meet you.
We're in the Netherlands. She and I are going crazy.
Yeah,
That's how it always is.
hold the mic. It's like, oh no, that's all it's doing.
Okay.
That was awesome. Joe Pascucci joining us here
Yeah,
on our
that was great.
season wrap-up show.
Like I said, my dad would be rolling over in his grave if he had a grave. He was cremated, but anyway, too much information. Yeah, we seem to be frozen on the screen here.
Well,
But
as long
there's
as they can
lots of
hear us.
moving parts.
As long as they can hear us. I noticed like you touch your that's why I unplugged your computer.
Oh,
That would do it sometimes, but
I can turn off my computer.
straightened out. Yeah, who needs a computer? We got
I don't need this.
show plan right here.
Okay.
Anyway, I love talking to Joe. He's just such an almanac of Winnipeg sports history. All those years at what was it, Sportsline, CKND?
Were you impressed that I knew the John Helton reference? As someone who was born a year later, Darrin.
That's pretty good. Well, I
Yes.
know your history too.
Well, thanks to our friend Roy, who's probably watching.
Yeah.
He's on our DM group. I know him and I had some differences of opinion, but Roy is a local Bombers historian. I have all his books thanks to him, Roy Rosmus. So I have studied the John Helton incident. Winnipeg Gordo's here, by the way, and he says try unplugging it for 30 seconds.
Right, the reset. Yeah, we'll get it straightened out.
Well, I mean, look at this. Look at all these great people here, Darrin. I think we should get another one of your media buddies on here.
I think so.
I can fill the space while you try and fix the camera. Oh, there we go.
How about that?
Oh my God.
We'll make it work.
This I don't like this camera of yours because it actually shows my face like it really is, and it's like, oh damn.
Yeah.
I kind of like the fuzzy camera because I can hide my
Here, we'll just cuddle up.
hideousness.
I don't know about you, but like I get distracted easily, like sounds.
You think?
But it's not sounds that are distracting me. It's this pretty girl over here. It's
Yeah.
my parents. It's my Uncle Glenn. Rain Dog. hanging out.
Yeah.
It's Three Down Nation,
You
TSN.
talking about that pretty woman, not girl. You outkicked your coverage there, buddy.
Oh man, no kidding.
So
Like,
she must love your personality a lot, as I do too. But yeah, you were very distractible. I mean, I could say we both have ADHD. I'll be talking to Darrin on the phone,
sitting at, like, I'm staring at this,
and I will be driving down Waverly, going by the train tracks, and the train is like 5 minutes gone, and he's like, "Are you by a train track?"
Oh yeah.
I just heard a steam whistle. I'm like,
Or your son
what
screaming
are you
on the
talking
phone.
about? He could hear everything. It's like I don't know what kind of animal hears it. These ribs are unbelievable. Like I was hanging on
That's what I was most.
She's every word, but I was like, I have to keep eating these ribs. They're so good. Come down here.
It's like a thing. Like, people don't like eating in front of other people. Like, it's the Silver Heights restaurant. I cannot not eat these ribs.
Yeah, no.
So apologies.
I don't know what Memphis barbecue is though. I'm a little. Is that what I was eating? Was I eating the original or the Memphis?
Sure. Here, try that one.
All right.
I think that's the OG.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Silver Heights Restaurant, 2169 Portage Avenue. Head on down. You can have a beer with Uncle Glenn. You can have a beer or a soda with Jeff Hamilton or Dave Naylor, Justin Dunk, JC Abbott of Three Down Nation. Matthew Schnitzer.
I told my wife, she's like, where are you going tonight again? I know it's in the calendar because if it's not in the family calendar of the Schnitzer house, it's not happening. So I put it in the family calendar and she's like, what, you're going to some event? I'm like, no, we're doing a live show. Okay, great.
Event.
Yeah. Okay, great. And like I slaved in the kitchen all day to because we're busy with Grey Cup stuff all week. I batch cooked. Okay. I made all sorts of chicken and beef and vegetables, blah, 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 blah. Because,
stacking brownie points.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, like we're doing a live event and like there might be some, like I know the Bauming family and Jessica will be there, but also, and Sandy, of course. But there's, Dave Naylor's going to be there. She goes, oh, okay. Like
Henry's in the house.
Yeah, Henry's there.
Henry knows what's up.
I was like, Farhan Lalji might be there. And I was expecting her to be like, oh, wow. But she's like, who are those guys? I'm like, goodbye, sweetie. I'm leaving.
Yep.
And now I'm eating ribs and they're in the room with us. We should get one of them, Darrin.
Absolutely.
Who do you think we should pick on?
Jim Bender just walked in.
Oh, Jim. We met at the Grey Cup.
How are you, Jim? See you.
All right.
Jim Bender, of course, decades at the Winnipeg Sun.
Yeah.
Still stringing for the Canadian press, covering Jets, covering. I think Jim had the question of the day today at the coaches conference where he accused Corey Mace of going to the casino and gambling because, of course, he was gambling in the West Final. So I got the biggest laugh today. There's always that one question at the annual Grey Cup coaches conference that gets breaks the ice a little bit. And Jim Bender crushed it today with that one. Like, he didn't know what I was talking about. Well, he had no idea. He's like, what do you think? He's like, my wife's gonna think I'm going to the casino. I'm not gambling. It was funny. Yeah, like Steve Smith wants to see Dave Naylor.
Okay. Yeah, tell us in the chat. Who do we want to see?
Yeah, this isn't very nice. TH Power, face for radio, Zach.
Wow. I'll take that as a compliment. That means he's saying I have a voice for radio. Do I? I don't know.
You have a face for YouTube.
Yeah. Look at this face. Look at this mug. Yeah. Can you believe someone saw this face and was like, I want to marry that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very lucky, man.
And Vicky Short, like
Vicky.
You eat the best ribs in Winnipeg.
I can't believe Vicky's not here. Like, how could Vicky not be here? Vicky.
Yeah.
I expect better. The sex question.
No sex question anymore.
What?
Retired, as it should be.
Wow. Oh my God.
Do you want to jump on? Farhan asked me today, he's like, okay, so where's this place? And I got to pull up Google Maps and show him because, like, he's not in Winnipeg too often. It's like airport, stadium. Airport.
Nice to meet you, Farhan. I'm Zach.
I told Darrin as long as he's buying, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, we'll buy.
Come on the show. I want you to come on the show.
What's happening, Winnipeg?
Farhan, we were talking about like O'Shea, his legacy in Winnipeg, maybe.
So I'm stealing some of your water.
close is he going to be to this, this dual front?
Yeah, I have some concerns. Now, I mean, look, my pick, and I don't often get these right, but at the start of the year, I picked Montreal to beat Saskatchewan in the Grey Cup.
You did it.
And one of the big reasons for that is I'm hugely bullish on Davis Alexander, and I have been for a long time. I've known about him since he was in high school in Gig Harbor, Washington. Tracked his career when he was at Portland State. Because I'm in that area and I follow a lot of the Washington. Any of the Washington high school quarterbacks to go play Division I kind of keep an eye on him, and so I've always been bullish on him. But I don't know that he can be that guy. I just don't, right? I have a hard time believing he can run around the way we're used to seeing him run around, and that he can do that for 60 minutes. So I might flip my pick. I got the Grey Cup finalists right, but I might flip.
See, I rode your coattails early in the year, and I tweeted I liked Saskatchewan over Montreal in the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
And people were like, Bauming, you're from Winnipeg, and you just picked the Riders to win
Yeah.
on home turf. Corey May's talking about that being a motivating factor this year.
Earlier in the year, yeah, maybe not as much now. It should be, right? Like, these are your rivals. People have nothing more than to play on their field, be in their locker rooms, and do all of that. So I think that gives them a sense of satisfaction. But look, they're a different team. I mean, you saw how bad they were. And I talked to players on that team when he got hurt, and I said to them, you will not win a game until he gets healthy. And they're like, well, you don't understand, who else is hurt? I said, doesn't matter. Because when this guy's available, he makes everybody around him better. Everybody is 6 inches taller when Davis Alexander's a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
So, if we get into that point, he's on the sideline, he's riding the bike and pulls up a little bit at some point at the end of the play. That'll also get the other team somewhat motivated.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, that's going to happen to Saskatchewan if they see that. So
strategically,
if
on that message all week.
if I'm Corey Nace, the first thing I do is I bring tremendous inside pressure immediately.
Get him.
Because I want to flush him wide. I don't want to let him comfortably step up into the pocket. I want him to test that hamstring immediately and get after it. That's part of the game plan. It should be. And we'll see if he can live in that world. But they're an entirely different team. I mean, look, just his presence on the field, even at 60 or 70%, is important. But when he can do everything he does, that changes how they play offensively. So does it mean even if you're Jason Moss, look, he won a Grey Cup with Cody Fajardo at quarterback.
Yeah. We know.
So that means you can sit there and play small ball, and you can screen and dink and dunk, right? And if that's what they've got to do to take a little bit of pressure off that leg, you're going to see that. But can they do an entire game of that? I don't know. So, strategically, that injury will impact both teams' game plans going into this.
This is why I love talking to Farhan, because he is a football guy. You've coached for decades, but then you're also a journalist and a reporter. So you can, take that football strategy part of it, and then also complement it with the media narrative that is this week. Jason Moss, Davis Alexander. They're going to stay on message all week. Is that part of the strategy of he's good to go? He's played with this before. We got good news from. Here's what they said. We got good news from the doctors. Well, the good news is that he's not ruled out, right?
Well,
so where will he be?
Yeah, and they're kind of framing it that this is a different type of hamstring injury, or it's affected him differently, and the MRI has come back positive, and all those things. And I get that, and I'm not suggesting that they're misleading the public at all.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, hold up a little bit in that game. And so that creates a level of risk for this game. And I think they know that. And they're not running from the fact that, I know he got mad at my good friend John Hodge, Winnipeg's own, and said, I'm not talking to you anymore. But, he did talk about it more today, and they're talking about prepping all three quarterbacks and knowing what all three quarterbacks do well. So he's not necessarily running from it. And it's just a reality. And it's the final game of the year. So while it's the ultimate gamesmanship, I don't think it's Mike O'Shea level games. Nobody.
Different level.
Yeah, that's a whole different deal. Remember Dalton Schoen and Adam?
We were just talking about that.
My goodness, right? So there's no level of gamesmanship like Mike O'Shea gamesmanship. But, there's a bit of that. So,
Farhan, last question I'll ask you, but I know Schnitzy's got one for you. Who has the better defense, the Owls or the Riders? They're 1-2 in the league this season.
I think, if you'd asked me before the playoffs, I would have said Montreal. I think it's sad. I just think the way they are playing right now and as tight as they've become, because I feel that Corey Mace dials up so many different defensive looks, and he's so much more multiple with what they do defensively and their pressure looks. Whereas with Noel Thorpe, like structurally, Noel's an excellent coach. He's had consistent success for a long time, but you kind of get a sense of what he's going to bring, right? And some of their personnel has not necessarily had the same level of dominance. You've also got, the Oakman situation, right? So that affects them a little bit inside. But I think, look, it's 1 and 1A. Like, I can't sit here and say there's a big gap between the two.
Yeah.
But I think right now, Saskatchewan might be playing at a higher level.
What do you got, Schnitzer?
Oh, so much. I mean, it's Farhan Lalji. He's here sitting with me, the idiot fan. But well, I mean,
Fan.
yeah.
That's strong.
No, I'm a good fan. I'm a diehard man.
Take that.
But I love your Farhan cast, by the way. Check them out on Twitter. I also appreciated your takes on the rule changes this year. I'm totally in your corner. I thought you had great responses to fans. But let's look at BC.
Yeah.
And what do you think? And you talked about this in your Farhan cast. Okay, what do I have to hug you now?
Good.
Okay,
We're close.
We're close.
Fuzzy. The mic is fuzzy. Yeah.
would you agree that BC lost the West Final maybe more than Saskatchewan won it, and maybe what went wrong for BC in that game?
Look, I think it was a really even game. So I don't want to sit here and say BC lost it, but they had every right. Saying they lost it. They were so much better, and it took an act of God, and I don't see it that way. I just think there were fine margins, and ultimately, BC had two opportunities in the final couple of minutes of that game to get first downs.
Yeah.
And they didn't get it. And they won first down in both sequences. And then the second point, like the first time through, they take a no end penalty and they mess up a snap, right? And then the second time on second down, they ran the quarterback draw and didn't get it. And I thought they could have been a little more aggressive and given the best player in the league the opportunity to win the game.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, if you're Mike Benavides, was three-man pressure the way to go? Like, I think early on in that drive, it made sense to me. As the drive progressed, I thought they could have been a little more aggressive because you do get to a point where if all of a sudden you get beat over the top, at least you give Nathan Rourke time, right? As opposed to 11 seconds left in the game. So there is a risk reward that might be worth taking. So, and I go back to this Hamilton game that everyone in BC is talking about where Bo Levi Mitchell took him down the field for a touchdown with a minute and they ran like a dozen plays in a minute. And there was no urgency. This was different. It wasn't dink and dunk. Trevor Harris did push the ball down the field. I think there was a failure in execution along with scheme. But yeah, on both sides of the ball, they had moments. And then in the first half, they had 3 drops. Had another one in the second half.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of moments there that if you're the Lions, you can look back. And, I've talked to people in the building as they've gone through their exit meetings. And when you think of them playing Saskatchewan last year, they got their asses handed to them in the playoffs. They didn't belong on the same field. This was entirely different. And I think you probably leave that thinking we're right there.
Yeah.
We're going to be in the conversation for the Grey Cup for a while now.
I want one more.
Yeah.
Buck Pierce. Okay, Buck Pierce is our guy in Winnipeg. He made his home here. He met a Winnipeg woman that got married. Still makes his home here.
For now, we'll get him.
He's beloved in Winnipeg. The one knock against Buck Pierce is in the big games, the Grey Cups, the playoffs. Maybe got a little conservative. And you sort of alluded to that with that last play with Rourke doing the draw play. But how has he impacted BC, the culture, the team, just the whole MO of the team?
Yeah, I think he's made a big difference, right? And I think when Rick Campbell came and took over for Devon Claybrooks, he positively impacted the culture. And then over a 3-year stretch, that kind of changed, which is kind of, if you're from Winnipeg and you see the 11-year run of Mike O'Shea, you're like, 3 years? What are you talking about? BC needed a change, and Buck came in. Buck was a lot more engaged than Rick, which is what they needed at the time. And on top of that, I think if you know Buck, he's not really equipped to be phony. Like, he doesn't have... Yes. Buck's not going to like me saying this, but he doesn't have the charisma to be phony. Kind of like Mike O'Shea, right? Like, you can like or dislike Mike, but he doesn't really have it in him to be phony, right?
Like, beyond genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine beyond.
And I think Buck's like that, so they needed a level of intensity that Rick wasn't giving them. He brought that. Engagement, what they weren't getting previously, he brought that. And then just what you see is what you get. He's just going to be real. So I think he's impacted it well. I think he's fit well with Nathan Rourke, and they understand each other's system, and there's an appreciation for that. I think, yeah, it's fair to say that at times he got conservative, but I also think that he also saw, if you look at the Calgary game, for example, and you saw how badly BC got exposed in the middle of their offensive line, right? Well, what happened? The game against Saskatchewan, he's moving the pocket a lot, right? And he made some structural changes that impacted the game in a positive way, right? And allowed BC to possess the ball and do some things. So, yeah, at critical moments, I know there were people even in Winnipeg who felt he ran the ball too much and that he did get predictable and conservative. I think he's opened up the offense a little bit more, but now the next challenge for him is to do it again next year and to do it again next year, because you can't get comfortable and just make it that run first, right? Like you do have to open it up a little bit more, especially when you've got a weapon like Nathan.
Well, to me, I think it served Buck really well, and it served Nathan really well. I think it's a great marriage between those guys. For Buck, I mean, Northern California guy, gets to be closer to home. It's an owner that wants to win and win now, and he gets Nathan Rourke as his quarterback, as an offensive mind. I think it was just a great move for Buck Pierce, instead of taking that Riders job the year before. But that, of course, segues perfectly into the big question here in Winnipeg right now, and that is coaching movement. And Mike O'Shea, his contract is expiring at the end of this calendar year. The Toronto Argonauts are where he is a legendary player, one as a special teams coordinator in 2012.
You think of Mike O'Shea, you think of the Toronto Argonauts.
And reports now that the reason Ryan Dinwiddie left is there's a little bit of disorganization, to put it diplomatically, in Toronto. If I'm the Argonauts, I don't know if there is a single person in the CFL today other than Mike O'Shea that I would want to rebuild something from the ground up.
Yeah, I think for me, if you could get Orlando Steinauer, I think that's just as good. Like, for me, just because he's also got a level of charisma and people skills that might resonate in a market where CFL football is generally dead, right? But I know they've spoken, right? Both sides have spoken. And I think there was a feeling that if they ever got down that road where Keith Pelly and that crew was able to speak to Mike O'Shea, like if you know Keith, like Keith is a closer, like he can sell. And it would be hard to walk out of an office and say to Keith, okay, we don't have a deal, right? But I also think that there's some processes around MLSC where they can't just snap their fingers and make a hire. It's a big company. They've got to go through HR processes and things like that. And that might be good for Winnipeg because it might allow Wade Miller to have some more conversations. If I was Mike O'Shea, truly, I wouldn't leave Winnipeg, okay? Because Winnipeg and Saskatchewan, in terms of the culture, their organizations, their commitment to winning, their facilities, all of it, right? Like, why would you want to go somewhere else? And I can't imagine a person that is the antithesis of Mike O'Shea than Chad Kelly. Right?
That's an excellent point.
How's that going to work? Maybe you don't want. Maybe you need a change in the personnel side. Now you want to change in quarterback. Like you would have to strip that thing down to the studs.
Well, and that's what he did in Winnipeg.
Well, I know, but like you did that 11 years ago. I'm not Mike. Of most of the coaches in the league, I probably know Mike the least. Right. I know people in Winnipeg, and I do get a chance to talk to some people around it, and I'm sure he is seriously considering this move. But if I'm Mike, I'm staying in Winnipeg, and I'm going to try to rebuild it here.
How about the appeal of no daily media coverage in Toronto? Like, because
No media coverage.
I remember Tim Burke when he was the head coach here in Winnipeg. It was kind of like the onset of Twitter being a big thing. And Tim Burke, there were like players tweeting bullshit all the time. It was crazy stuff happening. And Tim Burke said, Twitter is the bane of the world, except in Egypt, because it was the Arab Spring and it was the way information would get out, that sort of thing. Quote that, legendary golden quote. Yeah. But then I think of Mike O'Shea. The bane of Mike O'Shea's existence is dealing with the media on the daily, the questions, the explain this. Can we talk to this person? And he shuts it all down. He's never wanted to be that media engaged coach. He would have none of that on the daily in Toronto. It would just take a huge chunk of his energy off his plate.
It might, but I'm not sure if he necessarily respects the media generally, not in Winnipeg specifically, enough to really be bothered by it, right? Like, and when I say I don't mean individuals in the media, just the overall role of it, and how.
But he's got to get his messaging down. He's like, okay, is Zach, did he practice today, or how about the question?
You're right. Nobody would cover it, and so he'd have to do less gamesmanship, right? But
might be a nice reprieve for him.
Yeah, I think that'd be the least of it, right? Do you want to go into Toronto? Do you want to live in that rat race? Do you want the commutes? Do you want the cost of living increases?
Practice in one place, play in another.
All of that, absolutely. Yeah. Like that matters. When you think of Winnipeg, and just talking to players in Winnipeg, the meal program they've got for players, and just little tiny details like that make you feel like you're a professional.
Yeah, like if you need the organization, if Mike needs the Blue Bombers to make an investment, like, hey, we need better food for the guys, we need an extra this or that, they'll do it. In Toronto, it's like, well, now you're looking up at the MLSE silo, for lack of a better term, and all that bureaucratic tape.
Yeah, like look, for me, I just think when you think about what he's all about and the base level human being that he is, Winnipeg just makes so much more sense for him. But look, from the outside looking in, and semi-outside, because the insider role gives me a little bit of access. I find the organization truly bizarre. Yet it succeeds. Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Like it feels like a house of cards, yet it always succeeds.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So like if you're in the midst of it, and like I always equate Mike O'Shea to being a duck. A duck is still above water and they're doing this underneath.
Right.
Like that's just kind of what I see. And I think he's the guy that holds the whole thing together. And maybe he doesn't want the weight of that anymore. And he might just say enough, I'll go try it somewhere else. But yet every year they find a way to bring the band back together. And every year we think, well, one of them's gonna go, and they don't go. Right. But so is this the year? I mean, all things come to an end, but yeah,
Like,
it's weird the way it works.
You're in a room full of Blue Bombers fans.
I know.
At the Silver Heights Restaurant. Come swing by, 2169 Portage Avenue. Best ribs in town, drink specials, all types of stuff happening with the Jets game happening at 9 o'clock tonight.
Can I ask him to switch it to the Connect game? Like, would that work?
Canuck game is the Jets game.
Oh, yeah. Like the Connect feed, I mean.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I have to use my Dazzin signing.
Okay.
Sorry, whatever it is. But with all these Bomber fans here, I don't think they understand that, like, maybe they do. Mike O'Shea leaves. What the heck do you do then? Like, who's the candidate?
Well, look, if it was me, I couldn't see an Orlando Steinauer coming. I couldn't see a Mark Mueller coming.
Kent Austin?
Kent Austin's a name that's out there that's interested in coming back to the CFL.
Jarius Jackson is here in Winnipeg. Has been a head coach before.
Jarius has been a head coach, but how about Jordan Younger? Right? Like, if you want to keep an element of the culture,
He's been in DC for 2 years.
Sure, but he's done a real good job at it.
Yeah,
and if you want to keep some of that culture and keep some players happy, and like that might be a way to do it, right? Because I don't know that a bunch of experienced head coaches are going to be beating down the door for the opportunity, even though I think it's a good one, right? Like we've talked about the facilities and all the reasons why Mike O'Shea should stay.
Well, selling out a whole season,
right? Yeah,
things are good in Winnipeg.
It matters here, but I know that Neil really likes the situation in Saskatchewan, all the family and support and everything he's got there. I don't think he's looking to run from it quite yet. And so when I look at it, I think Ken Austin is a viable candidate, having played here before. I'm sure that if they wanted to bring in Jarius, they could. But I feel like Jordan Younger's a bit of a dark horse candidate here, just because if you're going to hire a first-time guy, why not make it a guy that you already know, right? And think could be that guy.
Well, that's what they did with Jason Hogan as a machine. Hire the guy you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was the right move or if that.
We've
segment. You're be buying me a lot more ribs than what you.
We've already roasted O'Shea for that one.
Yeah, that hasn't gone so well, has it?
I'm pretty sure we could sit here with Farhan all day, but we'll let him get back to the media contingent that's here. Grey Cup weekend.
I'm afraid. Listen, this is how many people love you. Like, just for people who don't know,
well, half of them.
I thought they came for me.
This is a loved, respected guy in this market, and I hope you're watching his show on the regular. And if you're a sponsor out there in Winnipeg, this is the show to be a part of. And anybody here that's here for Grey Cup, like, they want to come out and support you because we love you there.
He's a lovable guy. What can I say?
Farhan Lalji, TSN, joining us here on our Grey Cup week kickoff party here at the Silver Heights Restaurant. Are you gonna have some ribs?
I am. Do they make beef ribs? Because I don't eat pork.
Yeah, beef. Yeah, they're beef ribs.
Beef ribs.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Brisket.
Oh,
check out the brisket.
All right,
really nice.
So we have our media party tomorrow night. Are you coming?
Oh, I'm gonna be there.
All right. I don't think we're serving brisket, but they'll be good for you.
No, but I think it's barbecue there too.
There is
nice spot. We'll be tweeting about it.
Can't wait.
Darrin didn't tell me about the media party.
Yeah, but you just called yourself an idiot fan.
I know. I'm self-deprecating to a fault, but I think if there's some barbecue there, I'm like, what?
He's got some accreditation.
All right, there you go.
Is that all I need?
Said no jerseys, no chains.
No, you got to register for the party. We just can't let anybody in.
Okay, we'll figure it
We'll
out.
get him in the FRC suite. That's the rite of passage.
There you go.
Thanks, Farhan.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Enjoy the week, guys.
Farhan Lalji joining us here. That's a fascinating conversation. I love talking to Farhan.
I would love to pick his brain about what did you make of his comment about the Bombers are kind of like a house of cards?
The duck
Yeah, like
Looks
what?
calm above the water, and then the legs kicking underneath. Look, there's been rumors about like how well Mike O'Shea and Kyle Walters get along for years now, and they've kept the band together and they've kept going to Grey Cups. Will that change now? Whether it's Mike O'Shea staying or leaving, is Danny McManus the next general manager of the organization? Is it somebody else? It's fascinating. Like, what are you curious about with like the House of Cards?
Just that, like, what was he referring to? Because you're right. On the surface, they look like the most stable organization, the flagship organization. They're selling out every game of the season, even though the team wasn't that great and maybe not that exciting this year.
Yep.
You have Wade Miller, who's turned around the entire profile of the Bombers. You have an issue, Wade Miller will fix it, right? And so you have this like triumvirate feel of the Canadian Mafia, Walters, Miller, and O'Shea. But yeah, but are there cracks in that foundation? You talk about maybe getting along better. I don't know. It was just an interesting thing to hear because I think on the surface they project to be a happy family.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating next 4 weeks, Schnitzy. Like I don't know what's going to happen with Mike O'Shea, and I mean I can't think of a more pivotal moment in Blue Bombers history in recent memory, like in over a decade.
Yeah.
The acquisition of Zach Collaros. A lot of people talk about the acquisition of Adam Bighill, Willie Jefferson, just that triumvirate,
Andrew
that Canadian
Harris.
Mafia. Yeah, Andrew Harris, that Canadian Mafia when it was Miller, Walters, and O'Shea. And building the team, like we've talked about this a lot on the channel, like building the team from the ground up, and that is strong line play, good kicker, and then build up that Canadian talent over time, and that's what Winnipeg did. And when they needed that stud quarterback, they went and got him and won 2 championships, brought them to 3 more cups after that.
Culture changed. The fan base, like the
Changed where they sold out 14 straight games, sold out the entire 2025 season. Like people need to understand how incredible that is. I mentioned this on the show before you joined. After that 14 straight sellout and selling out the whole season, Rayanne Marcoux, who's director of marketing and communications for the team, marketing and creative. Forgive me, I know I butchered that job title, but Rayanne Marcoux has been with the organization for a long, long time, and she tweeted that they set a goal 10 years ago, and that they reached that goal that day. Can you imagine 2013, 2014?
Oh yeah.
And you getting like 17,000, you got like 12,000 season ticket holders, you getting 17, 18,000, you got a 33,000 seat stadium, 32, 3, whatever it is. Our goal is to sell out every game for an entire season.
Yeah.
And then they did it. Incredible what this team has done on and off the field. And I mean, whether Mike O'Shea is here next year or not, whether Zach Collaros is here next year or not, he's under contract. But no contracts are guaranteed in the CFL, that they can decide to make.
That's meaningless.
What this next chapter is going to be a lot different than what this past half decade or 6 years with that missed season and 5 straight Grey Cup appearances has been.
It's crazy to think of O'Shea not being here. I'll be honest with you. And like the other thing is like everything, like it's always been a fit thing, right? Like sometimes fit matters. You look at Nick Arbuckle, a guy who was supposed to be maybe not the next big star quarterback in this league, but he was courted by Ottawa. Yeah, he was supposed to be their number 1, right?
Yeah.
He goes to Toronto with Ryan Dinwiddie. Well, Ryan Dinwiddie seems to fit with every quarterback, but you get that right fit, and you put up, a Grey Cup MVP trophy on your mantle, a Grey Cup. The amount of production he had this year, like fit matters.
Yeah.
And I think the Mike O'Shea fit with Winnipeg is a good one in the sense that Mike O'Shea comes from North Bay. He comes from not rural Ontario, but small town Ontario. Blue collar, lunch pail kind of guy.
Yeah.
He values all of the things that we value in Winnipeg. Grit. I mean, our winters are brutal. Working hard, grinding, relationships, culture. respecting each other, respecting the game, fighting for your brother, not doing it for yourself, right? I was listening recently. He was the one who, when he came in, said, "We're not going to be giving bonuses for 1,000-yard seasons because we don't want our players focused on that.
Yep.
We want them focused on what's best for the team." And it just seems to work in Winnipeg. There's something about him leaving that's crazy. But then again, Darrin, he took the meeting with Toronto. So what does that say?
Well, I think it would be foolhardy for anybody, no matter what, to not listen. You have to at least listen,
He didn't listen when Edmonton tried to court him a few years ago.
right?
He didn't listen. He didn't even take the meeting. And they were offering him head coach and GM, and I don't think he wants to be
I don't think he wants to be a GM.
I think we've agreed on that. But to even take the meeting is interesting to me. And it makes me a bit paranoid that he is leaving, because why would he take the meeting?
I think that paranoid is justified. I think it's a legit possibility. I don't want to like stoke fear, because it is a scary thing. If you're a Bombers fan, Mike O'Shea leaves,
Yeah.
like, then what?
Yeah.
That is scary. But you know, I'm a little bit lost for words, because it's going to be so different. Like, this could be, back to my original point, this could be the most pivotal moment in Blue Bombers history. Like, you could probably say 20 years, 25 years, a quarter of a century. You could say this is the most pivotal moment right now. Because if this team has to, rebuild, retool, whatever you want to say it, like Willie Jefferson, a couple seasons left. I sure hope. He's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah.
Zach Collaros, a lot of those guys in the offensive line. Stanley Bryant's going in the Ring of Honor. He'll be a Hall of Famer. Patrick Neufeld, could be in the Ring of Honor himself, and rightfully deserved. So many other guys on the defense. The direction this team takes post Collaros, post Jefferson, now post Big Hill, post Stanley Bryant and Pat Neufeld, whether that's a year from now, 2-3 years from now, with Mike O'Shea or not Mike O'Shea underneath, is going to be so very different.
But if I'm Mike O'Shea, Darrin, and I don't know if
Can we get into his mind?
I don't know if O'Shea cares about these things, but most coaches do. And what they care about is legacy. And if Mike O'Shea, he's rebuilt the Bombers already, and he's brought them to 5 straight Grey Cups, won 2 championships, 9 years in a row with double-digit wins, 9 years in a row with a playoff game. Okay, it's insane what he's done. If I'm Mike O'Shea and I'm looking at the prospect of another rebuild, I'm a lunch pail hard hat kind of guy. If I'm Mike O'Shea, and I'm like, what if I can rebuild this team again and take them to the pinnacle of the league again?
Maybe he enjoys that process.
Maybe he loves that challenge. And if Darrin, if he does that again with this team and sticks around for another decade, he will go down as probably the best coach in CFL history. And
if he can bring this team back again,
if
to
he
like
can,
another 5-year run, or 3-year
exactly,
couple championships.
Because the question, you look at Bill Belichick, and the knock on Belichick is always, well, what did he do without Tom Brady? Nothing.
Yeah.
If O'Shea without Collaros, and maybe it's Taylor Elgersman, I don't know, but without Collaros, without Bryant, without Andrew Harris, Neufeld,
Big Hill Jefferson,
yeah, can he do this again? And I would argue that he could. Now, I could also argue that we could have won 5 straight Grey Cups and been in the same conversation as the Edmonton football team in the 80s, late 70s. And I think there's some things he's done in those games, or his coordinators have done, that have kept us from that pinnacle. I'll use the word again. Now I think we're more like the Stampeders of the 2010s. We went to a lot of Grey Cups. We lost some we shouldn't have. We still won 2, right? I'll never forget that part of it. But I do think that what Mike O'Shea's done can be repeated, because he's a process guy. He gets the right guys who put in the work, who do things for the right reason. And if you have those guys, you have to have some talent.
Yeah, of course.
So he needs Walters or whoever's going to take that mantle. If he has decent talent, he can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it took time here in Winnipeg. It would take time in Toronto or elsewhere, no matter what he decides to do. Farhan brought up some really interesting points about like Chad Kelly and how that
Oh, that was brilliant.
fascinating.
That made me laugh out loud, man.
Also, like Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment is like you think of corporate juggernauts.
Yeah.
It's the corporate juggernaut of corporations in Canada. And if you need something to happen, like if there's a big difference between like, hey Wade,
Yeah.
let's try to fix this, and yeah, I'll hold. You know, like
That's a very good point.
that bureaucracy, that corporate structure that it is to like ultimately pull the trigger on, a cash injection or infrastructure, like physical infrastructure building of like
Yeah.
the gym or the practice facility.
Yeah.
We got to do this on a daily basis or a weekly basis or whatever it may be in those football ops. That would probably make him pull his hair out. I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Shea went even more gray, if he was the Argos head coach and then trying to make those things happen. But this is what I know, like in reading about like the great minds of the world, the great accomplished people of all time, is that they seem to be drawn to those challenges.
Yeah.
And when you reach a pinnacle, it's time to move on to that next challenge, whether it's self-imposed or you go seek it out elsewhere. So
I think you're totally
fascinating.
I think you're right about the fit in Toronto. It's corporate. I know he loves pinball. Like they're buddies. I don't know if he get along with John Murphy. I mean, this is a guy who threw a punch at a Ticats fan. I mean, that's like the antithesis of Mike O'Shea. So and that's just speculative. But Chad Kelly, I couldn't think of a less Mike O'Shea player than Chad Kelly. I just can't see it. So I'd be surprised, Darrin, if he left. But then again, maybe I wouldn't. I
It's
don't know.
fascinating.
It is
I
fascinating.
would love people in the live chat to let us know what you think. Will he stay or will he go? It's going to be the predominant football storyline here in Winnipeg. If you want, head on down to the Heights, 2169 Portage Avenue, Silver Heights Restaurant and Lounge. We're going to have the Jets game on a little bit later. Is this well, it's Tuesday, so I don't know if this, I guess, is an NFL replay.
They're replaying the Bucks game
Yeah.
for some reason.
I haven't been following NFL lately. All I know is I beat.
Dude.
I beat. We have our Winnipeg Sports Media Fantasy Football League. Last year, won by the late great Ted Wyman. So we call it the Teddy Bowl.
Right, and Connor took his place, right?
Yeah, Connor took his vacated spot. But I beat Josh Frysan.
No, that guy. No, you beat him.
Oh no, maybe it was John Hodge. I don't know.
I would be surprised.
Hodge curls on Tuesdays. He's a curling writer now. Did you know that?
I did know that. I went out for coffee with him the other day, actually, and he thought it would be a friendly chat, like catching up about non-football. But because it's John Hodge, I just grilled him about football for 2 hours. And then he's like, okay, check, please. But anyway, he's a great friend of mine. Love Hodge.
Hodge. Stays or goes?
Yeah. Where do we want to go from here, Darrin? Because we've got, do we want to shut it down? Do we want to get a rider perspective?
Yeah,
want Dunkster on
I'd love to get a rider perspective. Maybe Britton wants to hop on, or Jamie and I. We'll see.
Yeah, let's get one of them, because I want to hear from the enemy.
Well, let's talk about this game. Like, I'd love your perspective on the riders, and I like if you can, put your blue tinted glasses down and be a little bit objective. This is a very good Rough Rider team.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you have someone in Trevor Harris who's won 2 Grey Cups, but never as a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
They have an incredible defense.
Yeah.
They're going up against an injured quarterback.
Yep.
They're playing, you could say they're not technically the home team.
Yeah.
The Alouettes will wear their home dark blues and be in the Blue Bombers locker room.
Yeah.
Bombers fans, Bombers players, and coaches, I'm sure, are happy the Riders aren't in there this week. Can you imagine? But, I think they're coming into this game as a
slight favorite. 1.5, I think, was the spread. They're laying 1.5. The Riders.
I think the Riders win their first Grey Cup in what was it, 12 years? They've only won 4 all time. Their whole existence, the Rough Riders have won 4 Grey Cups.
Dude, the Bombers have been to more Grey Cups in the last 5 years than the Riders have won.
There you go.
But if I take off my blue and gold glasses, if I can, and I look at it objectively, I do still think, and a lot of this hinges on Davis Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
When this guy plays, it's not just that the offense is buoyed. He boosts the whole team. The whole team has it. You saw him in breaking down the team before the game in the Eastern Final. Like those guys will run through a wall for him. He has that it factor. He has a swagger. What do we see?
Montreal wins on a second chance walk-off field goal.
Can I just digress for a
13th
second,
man?
folks?
Yep.
If you're a Bombers fan and you're disgusted that the Riders are playing at Princess Auto Stadium for a chance to win the Grey Cup, remember 2009 when they played the Montreal Alouettes, the 13th man?
Mhm.
Can you imagine? Like, it wouldn't be a Grey Cup for your Bombers, but can you imagine if the Riders win in heartbreaking or lose in heartbreaking fashion at Princess Auto Stadium? Like, just hang on to that. There's a silver lining. But anyway, I think Davis Alexander has the it factor. He brings a swagger, and he does something, Darren, that all of the legendary CFL quarterbacks do. Whether it's Damon Allen, whether it's Matt Dunnigan, whether it's, I mean, the best example would be Doug Flutie, whether now it's Nathan Rourke. It's the ability when the play breaks down and the pocket falls apart is to create something with your legs. And he has a cannon of an arm. He has a great deep ball, very accurate. How do you stop that?
Yeah.
If he's healthy, how do you
Davis
stop
Alexander.
that? Yeah, Davis Alexander. I don't
Well,
know.
healthy.
And the Riders, they have maybe the best defense in the league, and I think they give up the third least offensive points a game, Darren.
Yeah.
And they did a great job on Nathan Rourke. But they give up a lot of pass yards. We saw that when Collaros played them on the Labor Day Classic, put up over 320, I believe, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
There's yards to be gained. Now, they cause a lot of turnovers. That's why they have the low points against.
Mhm.
But also the Hounds don't give up a lot of turnovers. So I think if Davis Alexander is like 95%, if
He's not going to be 95%. He's not. He hurt his hamstring.
they'll freeze him up, they'll give him a shot.
It doesn't work with the hamstring. He will be. That's why they say like he's hamstrung. Hamstring is injured. Like he's not speculative.
Yeah.
Really, but he's going to be like 60%.
Okay.
Maybe 70. It'll loosen up. He says he's not going to be far from the bike. He's going to constantly be riding the bike.
But how much adrenaline? Like he's playing in the Grey Cup. I mean, will that adrenaline?
Yeah, the adrenaline will help. Stay warm, stay loose. I don't think it's going to be too cold on game day.
He's a young guy.
Well, yeah, I think that does help. Jason Moss said that he's played with this before, meaning like, this season he's played with that hamstring. Farhan made a great point. If you're the Riders, you use Micah Johnson, you use
Malik Carney, who destroyed the Bombers.
Inside of
Sanders,
pressure, and you make him roll out. Because if he's not quite loose early in the game, and you can get him to kind of maybe twinge that hamstring again, it could be a problem.
I think let me rephrase it then. I think if Davis Alexander is effective as a runner, not at 100%, but if he's effective and he can make guys miss and he can get out of the pocket and create space for himself, that's a big problem for any team. There's also the mystique of the guy who's undefeated. And I think that can be used as you're in your psyche, be like, nobody can beat us. And not to be overconfident, but he has a swagger. I mean, this guy trash talked Willie Jefferson. And he backed it up, man. And he was giving it to the Bombers on the sideline.
A lot of Bombers fans they're like, I don't like this guy.
I am different. At first, I was like, oh, crap. Like, who is this guy? I want him to get crushed in the East Final, Grey Cup, whatever. But then I take a step back. Maybe I'm maturing, Darren, and I'm more objective. If that was my quarterback, give that to me every single day. I love this guy. This guy is great for the CFL. And I think
he is the future of the CFL.
He is the future of the CFL. You could argue the Montreal and the Sask defenses are equal, the special teams are equal, except for kicker. And in the CFL,
kicker,
on a windy day, if you're trotting out Brett Lowther, and Brett Lowther can be an all-star if he's on his game.
He could have if he has a good day or not.
But he can miss 25-yard field goals.
Jose Maltos Diaz is the best kicker.
Yes.
It's him. Like Sean White's accuracy was off the charts.
Yeah, not the distance.
Didn't kick any 50s. And
yeah.
Jose Maltos Diaz was outstanding for Montreal. Toronto.
Yeah.
Who
set the CFL record for 50-plus yard field goals.
Sergio was great, but
I mean, do you remember?
I'm with you. I would take Maltos DS over Lowther.
Absolutely. And I think in Grey Cups, we see this all the time, Darren, where it's a very razor thin margin. And special teams in the CFL, love it or hate it, and most of you love it because you're watching the show.
I'm looking at your note right here.
Yeah. Saskatchewan has the lowest field goal accuracy in the CFL. And we know this as Bomber fans for the good and the bad. We remember 2021 Grey Cup, windy day in enemy territory in Hamilton. O'Shea's maybe finest moment, taking the win in the fourth quarter, battled back. Sergio Castillo was the MVP of that Grey Cup. He made 5 field goals, a couple of single points that were absolutely crucial. Swirling winds, kicking against the wind, kicking with the wind at the end of the game to take the lead. I think it was like a 48-yarder with the swirling wind. Like, that was unbelievable. And that was the margin of victory for the Bombers. I know they got the 8 points in overtime. And you remember the struggles that I forget his name, but the Hamilton punter that game had. The field position in the fourth quarter was for the Bombers all day. And then you remember 2022, where Mark Leggio, who's now having an epic season, he missed a single point after the Janarian Grant record-setting touchdown.
And the Robbie Smith blocked field goal
Yeah.
in the fourth quarter. A lot of people thought he
Right.
would have missed it anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So special teams is absolutely massive in the CFL. And if I have to give an edge, I could give it solely to Montreal based on Maltos Diaz versus Brett Lowther.
Great points by you, Schnitzy. You're live at the Heights, 2169 Portage Avenue. Jim, take it easy, my friend. We'll see you in the Football Reporters of Canada Hospitality Suite. We got the media party tomorrow night as well at Bell's Kitchen in Transcona.
Transcona, never mind, I'm not coming.
But more importantly, Schnitzy, you and I are going to be at the CFL Open.
Yeah, baby.
RBC Convention Center later this week. The big man, Chris Walby, who couldn't make it tonight. We're always feeling for Walby when he can't make it out. But he told me he's going to find us, and we will find him at the awards. He's handing out the award for most outstanding offensive lineman. The way he talks about Jamarcus Hardrick, the way Hardrick talks about Chris Walby, how beautiful a moment would that be if those two
It'll be
meet on
Hardrick.
stage? Yeah, I sure hope it is. Great guy and great football player. Big thanks to Jeffrey Townend.
Again.
$50 super chat. Thanks so much, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. Jeffrey says, why does your Grey Cup logo, that of course is the one on the bottom right side of the screen, Grey Cup 112 in Winnipeg, why are there fir trees? Where are the forests of southern Manitoba?
Jeffrey.
Phrase jumps in. Southeast, Jeff. That, of course, being
He's never been to northern Manitoba, obviously.
Northern Manitoba, of course. Even western Manitoba. Like I was talking to Naylor, Dave Naylor. Like, Nails, where are you right now? He's like, I just left Brandon. Yeah, he was just coming up in Cypress, right? Where it's like the roll.
Did he drive Phil from Regina? Poor guy.
After the West Final.
Definitely get him on the show then. I want to hear about that drive.
But you hit those Cypress Hills, right?
Yeah.
And there's forests. Manitoba's loaded with forests.
Gee, Jeff.
Jeffrey,
you're a beauty, man. I still haven't gotten the super chat from last week, which was sizable.
You're not getting them anymore. Thank you, Jeff, though. Appreciate that super chat. I'll put that towards the ribs and the coleslaw and fries that are coming.
Oh, baby.
Two can dine for $27.99.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
They got drink specials like all throughout the week. Jets games, home and away. They got Bombers buses going to the games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're packed because the stadium is packed. The Madhouse on Matheson.
Yeah.
I was talking to Claire Hanna of TSN.
Just name dropping here, Darren.
Let me get that here. Well, I'm not name dropping if they're in the building, Schnitzy.
Is Claire Hanna here?
Claire's not here.
Yeah.
But we were talking about the Madhouse on Matheson. And of course, in an homage to the Madhouse on Madison being, Chicago Stadium.
Yeah.
The house that MJ built, Michael Jordan, the Blackhawks, Stanley Cups, all of that. It was the Madhouse on Madison Avenue, the big, dragon in Chicago. The Madhouse on Matheson. I started calling it that on our show, 2-3 years ago?
Very catchy, my friend.
Every game,
right?
It just fits. It's catchy. It sounds good.
That was
Bombers
you.
Fans should be proud of.
That's you, man. That's
no.
You're the reason they sell it out.
I'm a conduit to the fans. That's what you and I are. You are a fan. You're more of a direct conduit to them. But that's the media, right?
That's true.
Like we were talking with Pascucci about.
I got to tell you, I got my media credentials today. And I was like,
your first credential.
I was going to wear them here. I was so excited, but then I thought, I kind of want to look kind of cool. Like, I kind of want to play it like Barry Sanders. Remember when Barry Sanders would get, his umpteenth touchdown and he would just toss it to the ref? Like,
Business.
all business, man. That
Been
was
there before.
instilled in him. Yeah, like, this is just another touchdown. And I kind of want to play that off as like, oh, yeah, this is, yeah, I'm just a media member, whatever. Like, but I'm not.
Yeah, I like this. Grade 8 geography class, says Gordo, who's in the building, by the way, in his Birmingham Barracudas Matt Dunnigan jersey. Canadian Shield, Parkland region, of course. Jeffrey wants to know if we have to wear monkey suits. That, of course, being a suit and tie.
Yeah.
CFL Awards.
Yeah, we do.
I said no chains, no jersey. Schnitzer.
Yeah. I have a suit. It's a blue suit, and it has a surprise Bombers feel to it, which I will reveal on Thursday. I'm not going to give it away. Question is, does it still fit? I'm not so. I should probably try that stuff on tonight.
We'll do it like this. We'll film from here up. How about that? Oh, hey, how about that Big Hill jersey right there?
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Autographed, of course. Looking at Bobby Hall, Morris Lukowicz, Connor Hellebuck jersey.
Yeah.
With the Moose. Oh, I think we have Connor Hellebuck right here. Yeah.
Connor Hellebuck's here?
Did you know? No, he was just showing the poster up there. The Silver Heights Restaurant is Dave Babbage jersey up there. They got a Timu from 92.
Yep.
Looks like
Brian Little's here.
Brian Little jersey.
Yeah.
The Silver Heights Restaurant is Winnipeg's original sports bar. 1957, when Grandpa Sawicki got things started here in the west side of Winnipeg, 2169 Portage Avenue. Same family, same location, 3 generations. I'm looking forward to digging into some more ribs, watching this game. It's going to be fun.
I'm just pulling up. I want to give a shout out to our friends, CFL Fans Fight Cancer, our good buddy Joe Pritchard, who's involved in that. Lots of people. Aaron Myers is involved in that, and it's a great event. I'm just pulling it up here. It's at the Tavern on Saturday, November 15th, so the day before the Grey Cup. Free Tavern downtown, right beside Canada Life Center, from 1 to 5 p.m. All are welcome. There's going to be a raffle, silent auction, 50-50, door prizes, more. He says, come have a good time and raise some money for Cancer Care Manitoba. Great cause, great people who do it. And check it out. I'm going to try and get down there, but we'll see what Saturday goes. But yeah, and all proceeds, of course, go to fight cancer, so which is dear to our hearts.
Kind of our season wind-up, wrap-up show. We got tons of our viewers. Awesome to see everybody that came through today. People from the WST Discord, media friends. Joe Pascucci joining us, Farhan Lalji, some others. I think maybe we just let them enjoy themselves tonight. Maybe we'll have some off-camera conversations. I'll give you here's the thing, Schnitzy. You're hanging out at Grey Cup with the media. It's the off-camera conversations that are the most fascinating, because you can kind of say things that maybe aren't reportable.
Yes, well, I'm going to be cornering Farhan and asking about the host of cards thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I wanted to thank our great sponsor this year, Silver Heights Restaurant, Tony Sawicki, JC Sawicki, the entire team here, manager Christine that helped us set up on behalf of Chris Walby, you, Zach Schnitzer, myself. Thank you. And most importantly, everybody who has watched and listened, who has commented, joined the live chat, commented afterwards, downloaded the podcast, watched on Facebook, watched on Twitter, follows the social media. Thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. We do this as a big passion project for us, right?
Absolutely.
And, we do it because we love it, and we love it because we can provide some great conversation and community. Yes, around
absolutely
is a pretty great thing. Did Norm just walk into Cheers?
I don't know.
It's I think the one reserved table we had over there. Well, one reserved table of 8 or 10 people, but that's where waiters and a whole crew of people are.
So Darrin, I echo all of that. I love doing this with you. I love all the fire starters and everybody who came here tonight, everybody who chats with us. I know personally, it's actually doing these shows. One of the biggest benefits for me is meeting all these people, meeting you, and also just talking it out, breaking down the game. I feel good. Yeah. I feel cleansed. Even if the Bombers suck. I used to be miserable for weeks. My wife would be like, you have to stop watching. You can't be a miserable person around our family if the Bombers lose. What is wrong with you? And so after a show, man, I just get it all out and I'm good to go the next day.
Yeah.
So
It's cathartic.
it's cathartic.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah. So
And that's what the bonfire is about, right? Like everybody is welcome. Come pull up a spot. It's warm. It's inviting. We just have that conversation. I can't emphasize this enough. You watching out there, make the show. The live chat, the comments afterwards, we read them all. Thank you again.
yeah.
We got more stuff coming to Bonfire. You know, we'll be at the CFL Award.
Yep.
When that Mike O'Shea news happens one way or another, we're probably going to
I
have
think
to do
we
it
have to have a little show. Yeah.
but
Maybe we'll be at the festival on Saturday. We're trying to work that out.
yes. Well, your accreditation gets you into all those.
I could just go. I mean, does that mean I can just go and party? And
Yes.
they're gonna be like, "Who gave that guy the accreditation?"
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy.
No, I mean, when the Grey Cup's in your city, you got to drink it in, right? So for people out there, if you're crestfallen and heartbroken that the Bombers aren't in this game,
Yeah.
you know, expectations where they would be, of course, 5 straight Grey Cup appearances, the game here in Winnipeg. If you're heartbroken about it, it's cathartic, therapeutic. Get out there, talk about it with your friends, show people that are here from across this great country,
Yes.
and even outside of our borders.
Yes.
For the Grey Cup.
I want to emphasize that point, Darrin. If we truly believe we're the best fans in the CFL, then go out and enjoy yourself and show out to everybody in Canada.
Yes.
Even if your team's not in it, you're going to have a great time. You're going to celebrate. You're not going to be all depressed forever if the Riders win. I mean, it's like when you win the gold medal in the Olympics and your little brother learns to ride a tricycle. It's all he's got. It's like, good for you, buddy. Okay, that's like the Riders. They're like a less than cousins. If they win a Grey Cup, it's still their fifth. They still have less than half that we do, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, way less.
whatever, man.
Way less than that. Yeah.
Exactly. So you know what? They deserve
There's
it if
always
they win.
fear, as they said.
But if they lose in heartbreaking fashion to Montreal again, oh my God.
Yeah. But Grey Cup's about the week, right? Like there's
Yeah.
fans here from beyond Saskatchewan.
Oh yeah.
And Montreal. So invite them, bring them in.
Yeah.
Show them why. You guys have sold out 14 straight games in a whole season, and why it's the loudest fans and the best fans in the CFL. Yeah.
All right, buddy. It's been fun.
Let's go have some ribs. Big thanks to the Silver Heights Restaurant. You can still head on down and watch the Jets game here, 2169 Portage. But, my mom, my dad, my uncle, Rain Dog, my dear girl, Jessica, all of our media friends and viewers, we're going to join them and have some more of these awesome ribs. I might even have a cold beverage.
Me too.
Great Cup week.
Although I got to work tomorrow.
You do. But you're working tonight, so,
Yeah, I know.
work hard, play hard.
I don't know if I have a rhyme. I'm kind of gobsmacked, talking to Farhan Lalji, Joe Pascucci. I'm a bit starstruck.
Well, this is what I'll say. If you want to have a great night, we'll see you at the Heights.
Sayonara, everybody.